The records are now open. Welcome everyone to Akashic Answers with Emily. I am your host, Emily Harrison, founder director here of the Akashic Academy. And my area of genius is in the Akashic Records, which you will get to experience today, the power of this realm. If you're not familiar with the Akashic Records, let me just share with you that the records hold all information, past, present, and future. We tap into the records because we can extract information from a God-level perspective, or from the perspective of unconditional love and zero judgment. When I say we can do this, I mean every single human on the planet has the ability to tap into the frequency, the space of the Akash, this realm of consciousness that holds all information. And when we do, and we extract information from this realm, we use it for healing, for guidance, clarity in our lives. We can use it for what I call a mastery level quantum skills, like timeline jumping, which is very, very fun. And I know many of you who come into this space are visionaries, and timeline jumping into a higher experience for yourself is not only of paramount importance for you. Obviously, you likely have a burning passion within you to continually learn, to understand more about quantum energy. But visionaries and thought leaders, storytellers, we're here to play a bigger role in the galactic evolution that's happening right now and happening right here on our planet. So as you transform and call this higher timeline into being, and you get to express the creator, the artistry within you, you're designed to help the planet as a whole. And my area of expertise is helping visionaries use the Akashic Records for that purpose, tapping into that highest timeline where we all get to experience something that looks a lot different than the timeline we're currently on. And we get to create that here together. Yeah, I've got so many of you popping in, so please say hello once you get here. I see Jacqueline and Trent and Jamie and Drew and Vanita. So excited to share this time with you. I know each one of you souls. Shireen is here too from South Africa. Yes, I love to know where you're at on the planet. I am in Reno, Nevada. I think it's really important that we share where we're tuning in. One, it not only gives us a visual, a connection point where we can begin to see all of these points of light illuminating on the planet, but we can also ground this energy in these areas, and we can begin to understand the bigger picture of how we're all coming together, and we get to do this work and create like this blanket over the planet. Yeah, we've got Idaho, Toronto, Austria, yes, Melbourne, Australia, Chicago, San Diego. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you all so much for being here. All right, so if this is the first time you're tuning in, let me know that as well. And all of you non-first timers, make our first timers feel very welcome. Say hello. Send them a hey. There's one of the, Leah Diffie from my hometown in Louisiana. I see that right there. I'm so happy you're here. Julie from Boston, so much fun. Central Pennsylvania from Winston, so good, yes. If you are joining in for the first time, I would love to introduce myself. I'm Emily Harrison, founder, director of the Akashic Academy, and I help visionaries who are ready to tap the space of infinite intelligence, access their Akashic Records so they can become masters in their field. Angie Grimes in the house, everybody. Hello, you. Hello. Today on Akashic Answers with Emily, we're going to experience why humans need to tap into the Akashic Records in the first place. I get to be the oracle for you today, for those of you who are just meeting me. Man, you get to learn so much about me. So Miss Leah Diffie, who said, I'm from your hometown back in Louisiana, Missouri. Yes, I grew up in a very small town, Missouri. I lived there until I graduated, and then I moved to Hollywood, where I was an actress for 20 years, which has always some exciting stories about Hollywood that will drop in. But you know what's cool about it is there are really beautiful metaphors to that experience. And I know that that's synchronous for many of you as well, is that you are transforming from one expression of yourself, from one career, from one incarnation, from one role in your life into another one. We're finding that as time is speeding up, as we're moving through this galactic procession, we feel like time is speeding up. And what that looks like in a civilian language, please, Emily, context, looks like we feel like things are happening more quickly and we're experiencing a lot of lives in one lifetime. So there will be a call for transformation, and that call for something more. If you are a call for something more person, meaning if you feel that there is a call on your life for something more, just send some love hearts across the screen. All right, now we'll create some sacred space here together. And as your fingers down there typing on that heart button, I also want to invite you to take a moment, take a breath, go inward, and find an area of your life that it would be helpful for you to have some more insight, some more guidance, some more clarity. Okay? And begin to type questions into the comments for me. Now, I'm not going to be able to get to everyone's comment or everyone's question here today. However, I want you to know that in this sacred space, in this sacred container, just you posing the question, you presenting that question to the universe is going to invite forward knowledge and intelligence for you. Okay? And I also want to let you know that if I am addressing a question within this space that is not your question, however, the answer resonates with you and you begin to feel it, especially if you feel it within your body, there is transmission, there is activation that goes along with everything that I channel in. So the vibrational frequency of the words has the potential to shift things within you. And if that's happening for you, that's going to happen for you regardless of whether or not you ask the question. So I wanted to keep your mind aware that that can happen. And I don't want you to block it. I want you to receive it. I don't want anybody to feel like, oh, that's not for me. Sometimes our inner wounds, our inner childhood wounds of not feeling included or not feeling like something is meant for you could prevent you from fully receiving the transmission. So I wanted to bring your awareness to that, because that generally happens here inside of this space. And now we are going to get down to some questions. Not only are we going to dive into questions today, and I'm going to ask Spirit to bring my attention to the questions that will benefit the most of you here today, most of us here in the collective. And let's see, I felt like there was one more thing that I wanted to tell you about the process, but I can't remember now. I think I'm just ready to dive in. Oh, I remember. Yes, there will also be a focus on bringing through an activation, an energy shift, or some way that you can receive this intelligence more deeply within your body, so that you can not only receive the knowledge, the aha moment here, but you can embody it. Or some form of an activation will come along with each question that we dive into. All right, so I am going to pull up my secondary device here. I'm going to share this out, by the way. If you would be so kind to share this out to a couple of spaces where, sorry, I can't think and type at the same time. I'm sharing out to a couple of spaces where the groups and the networks here on Facebook that I know have an audience who is ready to dive into this work. Plus, sharing a little on my personal page here. Let's get my people in here. Leah Diffie, let's get more of the friends and family coming in from Louisiana, Missouri. All right, so I'm going to dive into some questions here. My awareness is drawn to Yvonne Bourne's question. Yvonne, thank you so much for being here. How can I identify and implement my calling? I'm reading that there on my phone. I was gonna scroll back through and put the comment up on the screen. But everybody, that's Yvonne's question, okay, is how can I best implement, or how can I identify first, identify my calling, and then implement my calling? All right, Yvonne, I'm going to tap in for you. First of all, how can I identify my calling? Yvonne, they're taking me directly back to childhood for you. And they want me to remind you, when I say they, okay, pause for 1 minute, the they that comes forward in the space of the Akashic Records are masters, including ascended masters, teachers, which are light beings who are lesson specific, loved ones who have crossed, and your spirit guides. And every other high level being that there ever was. This is God intelligence. This is your higher self. It presents in this storyline of masters, teachers, loved ones, and guides so that we can all agree on the same lexicon, the same vernacular as we are talking about this realm. It's also all you and all your higher self. Okay. All right. All right, Yvonne. So when I tap in, I feel instantaneously my awareness going back to childhood. And the guides are reminding me to remind you and everyone else here that your soul comes into this planet with this knowingness, and you carry it through your childhood. Even if you did not come into this planet fully psychically awake, and most people that I work with, I have to say, did not enter the planet 100% awake. Part of our process, when I say our, I mean those that I'm meant to guide through this process. Most of our journey looks like what it looks like to wake up in real time, remembering these beautiful gifts and skills, and then fully embodying them, making the transition of what it's like to live in the old 3D life, and fully transition into the 5D, or this new expression of ourselves, right? And every person comes into the planet with a knowingness. So going back to your childhood, Yvonne, and beginning to invite memories forward, okay? I'm feeling like there was an issue with your mother that is what halted your childlike curiosity from moving forward in this particular area of passion for you. Let me know if this is resonating for you. But kind of like, you know, mom thwarted it for some reason, or something happened with mom where sometimes it's not a conscious thwarting either that mothers or parents do of children. It's a subconscious modeling. So if your mother shied away from doing something that was really valuable and important to her, she could have subconsciously taught you in that way. And there are parts of your belief system that, okay, yes, Jehovah's Witness, yes, parts of your belief system that need openment and alignment. That's all. Okay, good. Okay. So Yvonne, I'm glad that's resonating around your childhood and what's coming forward, and your mom. Can you connect with what feels like what your childlike self wanted to do, what your little kid wanted to do? And it's okay if there's more than one. For me, when I look back on this, this one's just flashing into my head now, although, yeah, I totally get it. I didn't necessarily want to do this when I grew up per se, but I loved playing archaeologist in my backyard and digging for things in my backyard. So it might not necessarily be what you wanted to be when you grew up, but it could be what you like to play. I loved playing all kinds of fantasy games. There were some things that I wanted to be, though. Art, dance. Yeah, I felt art. Yes, yes, yes. I definitely felt the art for you. There were things that I felt like I wanted to be. I wanted to be an astronaut, and I wanted to be a college professor. Get the connection? How I ended up as an actress for 20 years, goodness gracious. Well, I know how that happened as well. Okay. All right. So yes, Yvonne, first of all, seeing into that childhood expression of yourself, Yvonne, and reclaiming that part of you is going to be the first step of identifying. Okay. And then stepping into it has to do with what you do on a day-to-day basis. It has to do with looking at the adding up of the smallest repetitive behavioral actions that you take. Okay, so what do we do on a regular basis in a repetitive nature? All of that energy adds up to create something in our life. Conditioned programs. Bless you, Mom, for revealing another hidden truth to self to heal. Melinda Lane, everybody. Love you, Mel. I see you there. All right, I definitely want to do an activation now for illuminating this area of the inner child for everyone. And here is another invitation from the Akash. And what I'm hearing right now from the guides is within all of these memories, these beautiful childhood memories that we have of either aspects of ourselves that we wanted, how we wanted to express, meaning what we wanted to be, or how we showed up in childlike play. All these aspects of ourself, these memories, they hold the frequency, the consciousness of that timeline. Does that make sense? That's pretty high level. We must have some smarty pants in the house today or something. Does that make sense? When you go back and you access that childhood memory, that frequency, the consciousness, I'm shaking like I'm trying to act out what frequency means for you all, okay? It's so powerful. Or maybe that's just my body vibrating from the power of how this is being received. Yvonne says, yes, great. So the memory, the consciousness holds all the information of this timeline and can instantly jump you into that timeline. Now, there's more work that needs to be done in terms of removing blocks and things that stand in our way, but all of this is very quantumly possible when you understand the mechanics and the pieces. Okay, I want to do solar plexus is what I'm feeling coming in for this one. It's interesting. I don't see a lot of times the solar plexus and the inner child necessarily connected, but it's cool. It's like the inner child's like, I want to be in power today. All right, all right, all right. Sarah says, I work with the Fae Kingdom and find our light and magic to shine. My screen dumped. Hey, Janet Harrison, everybody. That's my mama. Mama's in the house. Activate the childlike energy. Yes. Okay. Everybody, I want you to imagine the solar plexus, which is the chakra that is about 2 inches above your belly button. Okay. This is, oh, by the way, I have to write down what we do here. Because when I send out the replays, I want to entice people, let them know what exciting stuff they can get inside, but I always forget. Okay, we're doing the child. This is our calling. Just keeping myself some notes. All right, solar plexus, 2 inches above the belly button. Hello, Anne. Radiating outward 360 degrees like the sun. I want you to send your consciousness into the solar plexus right now. And just so you know, there's a galactic alignment happening for us right now. My Akashic alchemist, I don't know if Miss Angie is still here in the house or if any of my other alchemists are here, but they helped usher this into the planet yesterday. Really powerful alignment that's happening. But the galactic alignment that you're currently experiencing to the level that you are ready to receive is an alignment of your solar plexus through our sun into great central sun. Allowing a stream, a path of, it's like a cosmic pathway of energy to transmit. And right now they want you to see if you can move your consciousness into the solar plexus And from this vantage point, call up a beautiful childhood memory. It could be a memory that has already come into your awareness based on what we've discussed today, or it could be a new memory. Work with whatever comes up for you, but allow yourself to experience this memory from this place, this vantage point of consciousness. So basically, you're just allowing the memory to play through. You don't have to do anything special. You don't have to have any aha moments. You just play through the memory with this alignment. That's all you have to do. Beautiful. 90% of the work that we do here together in the space of the Akashic Records happens afterwards, or you begin to see connection or evidence of the work that we've done here together afterwards. So I want to bring your awareness to the to paying attention to how your real world, your matrix outside of you, your life, the hologram, begins to respond to show you or indicate the work that's being done. Okay? See, isn't this fun? Let's get a couple more questions here. Yvonne says, I get the whole solar plexus connection. Oh, because when you feel nervous, that's where you feel it the most. Right on. Oh yeah, Sarah, beautiful. Thank you, Sarah. The solar plexus is connected to magic and light. Childlike. Number one chakra for you. Right on. Well, then thank you, Miss Sarah. I think we got your influence in here. Because that's not a, I think I was channeling Sarah's energy, everybody. Sarah, if we're not friends yet, I'll race you to sending me a friend request. All right, I'm going to scroll through the comments here and grab a couple more. Questions. Send me some questions. Nirma says, I just joined. What is the topic today? Nirma, the topic today is Emily Harrison, Oracle at your service. I am, well, actually, I'll break it down. The two things that we're doing here, one, we're working within the Akashic Records so that you can get the benefit of the power and the understanding of what goes on in this space. But I also am hoping to inspire you to understand that you can do this as well. How cool would it be if you could channel through as quickly and as clearly as I could? This is only because I've practiced and I've learned how to do it. So I want to share the gift with you of the Akashic Records, not only in the ripple effect of how cool it is to be able to tap in and to shift energies doing this, but I also want to empower you because I believe in living in a world where every single human has access to their gifts and skills of communicating with the Akash. I believe fundamentally that information is our most valuable resource on the planet, and when we all have access to the same resource, the same information, there can be no more lies, no more deception. I believe that it will level hierarchy on the planet. It will open up abundance and health and creativity and collaboration on our planet. So long as we don't misuse it like we did before. I got all Pollyanna there on you on how amazing the Akashic Records is to use. And one of the reasons that we must work so hard, like I said, wouldn't it be cool if you could do it as easy as I could? It's because I've worked hard to cultivate my connection. And I've aligned every part of my life to this connection. But one of the reasons that we must do that as humans currently showing up on the planet, and we don't just get to walk into a library and read it, is because we'll mess each other up with it. Humans are not in a state of self-love and grace yet. We're still warring with ourselves and each other, which that has to stop before we can truly advance into the higher levels of understanding and using technology that is available to assist us here on the planet. But the next piece of technology that the planet needs, as far as I'm concerned, is the return in their awareness and the reconnection within their being so they can fully access their Akashic records and have a checks and balances system, soul level guidance and clarity every step of the way. Just you know, that's Nirma. That's what we're discussing today. And I'm glad you joined, and I'm glad you're here. All right, so with that being said, I'm going to scroll through and see if we have any more questions that need to come forward and receive intelligence and illumination today. Questions. I don't see any more questions, you all. Anne does say, I've noticed that a lot of people are having inner child issues, myself included. Nancy Louise is here. You asked a fun question about my my 18-year-old ginger boy. He's driving. And Nancy, Miss Nancy, he is one of the most powerful leaders, coolest humans, incredible visionaries that I've ever met in my life. The things that he is doing in his own personal life at his church are just absolutely mind-blowing and ridiculous. He's so fun. Okay. All right. One more question from Sarah, and then we will wrap up for today, because I do hear my kids home out there. My other two are home out there. You have an 18-year-old? No way. Thank you, Vanita. Yes, I have an 18-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a 12 going on 25-year-old. Best ways to activate the solar plexus. The best way to activate your solar plexus is a way that you make up. Doggone it. I got to tape it on, everybody. Just pretending like it's not really happening. Okay. All right. So the best way to illuminate, activate, shift, clear, heal anything in your life is to create it yourself. Make it up. Here's why. Because remember how I talked about, this is really cool. I think you guys are gonna like this. This is the bigger picture story I'm about to go into here. Okay. Let me just get myself fully centered so I can translate this through. Remember how I talked about humans don't even yet rank on that consciousness scale of a level 1 civilization, level 2 civilization, level 3, all the way on up, okay? Because we haven't stopped warring within ourselves. We have not created first an abundance of peace within ourselves. We haven't created an abundant society for everyone. We have not yet stepped into the knowingness of, yes, we did misuse the power before, which is why we're learning again. Okay, we've not stepped into the knowingness where every human can self-heal. We're learning though, right? How many of you guys have healed yourself of something freaking amazing, emotional or physical? Ding, 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 ding. This means hearts across the screen, by the way. If it's your first time, you might be like, what is that she's doing? This is my way of like shaking the offering box, okay? Like hearts, please. I have, yes, Cindy, yes. Yes, and yes, thank you. Yes, yes, yes. We're doing it. We're figuring it out. Many times, Mel says, yes. Vanita, yes. Yes, okay? Every human has the ability to do it, and what works the best is for you to create your own medicine, make it up, whatever works for you. If you attended my Align Masterclass last week, give me some hearts across the screen. For those of you who do not know, this is unprecedented. We haven't made too big of a deal about it yet here at the Akashic Academy. And I am now teaching my core content that used to be part of a $5,500 program, Learn to Read the Akashic Records. I'm teaching level 1 for free. I'm breaking all the rules of what internet business says to do They say not more than 3 days, they'll get bored. They say, don't make it for free. You got to charge them. They won't value it. I don't care. The planet needs this information, and I love teaching it. I love the expansion that happens. But every one of you, and I'll leave the link here. Let me just tap in real fast. We're doing an encore. Oh, hang on. I thought it was going to be faster than that, but it uncopied. Okay, yeah, we're doing an encore coming up, so make sure you're registered. This will give you more confidence when it comes to creating your own medicine. But part of what will allow us all to step up into this higher octave where we can maybe attain level 1 status of galactic beings is to transmute all of this within ourselves and to create medicine within ourselves. Those of you who came to Align and you experienced going into the records with me, you know there's a particular part of that journey. Well, you're welcome, Dina. Dina just received a download of a whole course, the whole program. Freaking right on. But those of you who have experienced it, you'll know that when you travel down into the belly of Mother Earth, which is part of the activation and shamanic journey that I take you on into the records, which is not necessary, by the way. Everyone has instantaneous access and can learn to maintain instantaneous access because there are more than one access point. You have access points within your body as well. So it will become illuminated within your body, and your cells will instantly only relate in that intelligence eventually. But how I teach you in the beginning is shifting your consciousness and traveling into that realm, which includes going down into Mother Earth and up into the Akash. Long story short, to get you to the part of when we journey down into Mother Earth, we go through a particular realm of medicine within Mother Earth where you understand that all the medicine that is needed here on the planet is contained within the roots. It's in the root system. It's in that dimension of Mother Earth. Okay? Our bodies being a holographic representation of Mother Earth means that all of the medicine that we need is also within our body, within our being. So when you trust your inner intelligence, or we could call it your innermost, wisest, oldest sage, or your most innocent inner child. I think they both know the same things. But tapping into whatever access to creativity that you have and making it up is the best thing that you can do. Okay. When it comes to solar plexus, I'll share with you what's alive in my field, very much in my awareness right now. And that is what I brought in when we were doing that activation, and aligning the solar plexus through our sun and our solar system through to great central sun. And I think that's the best thing to do right now. But you could probably ask 100 different gurus and thought leaders and psychic moms out on the street, and they would all have a different response in terms of activating the solar plexus. Sarah, you are so welcome. I'm glad that you had fun here today. If you received value from this experience here today, I ask that you please share this out. Share it in your timeline. Share it in groups that you frequent. This information is really important, and the more of us that wake up and begin to support each other, we stop competing and we start collaborating, and we start showing up with the spirit to share and to learn and to grow and to teach and to play all these roles that so many of us have shut down to. And we've built lives that aren't about cultivating these aspects of ourselves. We've built lives that are about numbing the pain that we feel from being disconnected from this aspect of ourselves. And that's part of the timeline jump that we all get to create here together. I love you. Thank you for being here. Namaste. And I will see you back here again very soon.